Okay, not hearing any other comments from the advisory board, we do have two people to speak from the floor. And the first one is Wendy Smithy. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize.
It's been mispronounced the whole time I've been married, so.
So so then Cheryl, how is it pronounced?
It's Smithy.
Smith, well, I
See,
spelled
you got it
I said
right. See, there you go.
That's amazing.
But you were worried you didn't, so you got it right. Okay, so yes, Wendy Smithy, and I'm probably gonna say something that might hurt feelings or be controversial, but hey, I've been like that all my life too. So, I am primarily a rescue representative. I've been working with the animal shelter for almost 2 years, since the time that the county took over. And I have seen both shelter directors leave. I did not know them well, but I did know them, and I've seen them both leave. I've read all the Department of Ag reports several times. I've seen staff members leave and many get fired. I've also read newspaper articles that seem to continuously paint the shelter and its current staff unfavorably. When the county took over the department in August of 2015, the shelter was placed under the control of the Deputy County Manager's office. As such, this person became the final say on all things shelter. And perhaps at this point, it might be, since we're hiring a new director, time to investigate moving the shelter operations to a different department. Suggestions might be hiring an outside organization, setting up a supervisory board assisted by the advisory board, placing the shelter under the sheriff's department, the health department. I've seen it both ways in other counties where they're under those auspices, or merging with an existing large entities, which is happening in Forsyth County, I think this month. The current scenario doesn't seem to be working. It works for a period of time, and then it doesn't work. And then it works, and then we run into a roadblock and it doesn't work again. A deputy county manager should not be expected to know how to run an animal shelter. It's not something that they were trained to do. It's not something I would expect the deputy county manager to know how to do. And I would think in a county as large as Guilford, the deputy manager has other departments that need equal attention. Just my thoughts.
The final speaker tonight, again, it looks like, is it Roy? What's your last name, sir?
Same as that lady Lawrence. I was gonna say, I live under the roof with one of are y'all a board or a council or well, needless to say, our home is 24/7 dog talk. Hardly any conversation goes on in our house that's not dog related. And one thing I've heard over and over, it's kind of touching on what you had said, so I'm basically it's up here echoing what you said. I know that working at a shelter has got to be a difficult job, and it's got to be stressful. And especially back in the dogs are barking nonstop, and it's just pandemonium. And I've told the board member over here that honestly, I don't think I would take the euthanasia job for $100,000 a year if you said all you do is show up one time a day and push a button and go home. $100,000 a year, no way I could do it. But I was just wondering, and I'm sure it's not the highest paid work, your workers that you run into over there. But I just wondered, is there some way, others saying, you better smile, there's a lady coming in here or you're fired. Some way to motivate the workers or some way to kind of make the environment a little more, cheery or uplifting or something. We've all been in the fast food restaurant or the grocery store where it's like, you can read their mind, oh my God, what are you doing in here? Get out of here so I can finish talking to my friend here. And I hear it's kind of like, and I just wondered, there's some way just to kind of, maybe a training, some kind of little training program or tripling their salary, which we know that wouldn't work. But, just especially the part that meets the public. Because I've heard comments, like I said, that's all that goes on in our house. It's like, well, I went into the shelter and I was looking for some help. And they said, well, go down that hall there. And then they go down that hall. Well, they're down here. Go look for yourself or whatever. Just kind of, some way to cheer it up and make it a little more customer service friendly. And that's easier said than done, I know.
Sorry, can I comment on that really quick?
Sure.
So I agree with training and things like that, but at my current job, what we have, I got a little photo box from Hobby Lobby, and I cut a hole in it, and I called it the round of applause box. So anytime that somebody does something nice, co-workers, doctors, or whatever, somebody can put a little slip in the box and say,
Yeah,
hey,
stuff like
I
that.
like the way you trim those toenails on Tuesday. You know, something just as small as that, but it makes
Attaboy.
people great. It makes people feel good, and it makes them, in turn, when they feel good, their customer service skills come off better to the clientele. So that, and then we also do birthday cakes. There's probably a lot of birthdays in the shelter, but just a
Just being appreciated.
Yeah,
I think that's
absolutely.
the main thing.
Right.
Show appreciation.
And it makes a difference when it comes from your coworkers and also from like the doctors or whatever, you know, trickles down. Just the little things of you clean the stock room or whatever, that somebody noticed
Doing a
you
good job.
and they feel appreciated.
And I think stuff like that starts from management down, you know, they have to kind of set an example for everybody in there. From up to all the workers.
I bring snacks.
That too.
I
Snacks are
come
always
out,
good.
you know, I just bring a bag of chips or a bag of cookies and put them at the front desk, you know, and say, some cookies, guys. And they usually get eaten.
Yeah, we did Halloween candy and it was all gone.
I have no doubt that, you know, when we hire a new director, that one of the things his or her are gonna be looking at is gonna be, how do you motivate people? How do you train them to interact with the public? Perhaps they'll even consider some mystery shopping in order to get an independent feel, because so much of what we do is so emotional that it's really, really difficult to separate our own dog from unfortunate dogs that end up in the shelter. All of these things I think will come together. I do think there's a lot of heart is going into this. I think specifically the work that Clarence has done and is doing, he's faced some criticism that may not be appropriate, to be quite honest. I think it's a very difficult job, as Mr. Lawrence said. He wouldn't for $1 million go out there and push that button. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't.
Could I
And so I think we need to see how that all plays out a little bit.
I was just gonna say the same thing, and then even on that comment about I wouldn't be the one to go out and push the button, it would be so much easier if that's all they had to do to euthanize an animal was push a button. But the misinformation in that sentence alone is
I
huge,
can't imagine
because
what's
they
behind
do
it.
way more than push a button in order to euthanize an animal, and that's what we as the public don't realize.
Mhm.
And so, I almost wish that was a true statement, but it's not. And so sometimes we say things very easily without knowing what goes on behind the scenes. And so I have the utmost respect for the people who work at the shelter and have to deal with the really emotional things that we don't see behind the scenes.
I'd like to say something. We have a very small shelter compared to what Delaware County has. And it's hard, no matter who walks up those steps, who makes a phone call. You don't know the information that I have just taken. So maybe I'm not cheery, happy, bubbling over when you come in. But you don't know the dog or cat that I've just admitted either. And it's hard to put on a happy face all the time with the excuses and the, I don't know what you call, I guess that's human beings, but the excuses they can make for surrendering an animal in horrible condition that they justify. And it's hard to stand there with a straight face. It's hard to swallow all that sometimes.
Maybe it would be
We
good to
see
have
all of it, and we don't euthanize at our shelter. If we have a sick animal that has to be, it goes to the vet, but one of us stays there and holds that animal. I would never let an animal be euthanized, my own or any to shelter, be euthanized without one of us. Dr. Hunt let 5 of us come and sit with the dog that had been in our care for about 5 months. To put that dog down, because it was so hard to do. This is very emotional. It comes from the heart. All of us have been there. All of us in this room should know that we all are working for one goal. And it's like inspections. I get inspected. You know, I got written up because my lights were blinking. And I'm thinking, wow, I didn't know I could get written up for that. But it was in the quarantine area, and the lights were blinking. Well, that contributes to the dog's stress. I had a cage that was rust, so I was written up for that. No matter what you correct this time, next time you can be written up for something else. So it's a hard line that all of us walk, and I can't say, well, Mr. Erickson, because I don't face anything like that. But I know my heart's on the line every day. And, I appreciate this board, I appreciate everybody that cares about the animals. But I think sometimes you have to stop and look at yourself. Do you want to make the problem, you want to help solve the problem, or do you want to be a part of the problem and keep being nasty and keep saying ugly things, or do you want to be positive and help us move on? And I want to be positive and move on.
And I do realize there's people that do get stressed, like Brenda said, but maybe that's why we could use some volunteers that just are greeters, maybe to take people around and see the animals, that's not seeing all this in behind the scenes to be sad about, that could just be cheering on the animals that's getting adopted and getting them out of there. Their job could be to be excited, because I have had people come in and tell me that they hate walking in there because nobody greets them or nobody smiles, but have some smilers in there that'll take people around, and the ones that are roughing it in the back, maybe give them a break about it, but have some people in there to kind of greet the animal, greet the people.
You try to do that, and we try, we have some great volunteers that are very good with showing the animals and getting the best out of them. I have a trainer that works with us, and I desperately want every animal I've got to find a home. But, I don't know that will happen, no matter how much I work with them. But, I've committed to it, so, as you say, I try to have people up front that are positive. And if she gets upset, or I get upset, we need to go step back and take a break. And walk around and see the animals, give them water or take an animal for a walk. That relieves stress for me.